It now becomes the duty of the court to impose sentence in this case, and that is to see that this defendant never again has the opportunity to walk the streets of our community as a free man.
Carly Gregg is evil, and that's not easy to say, but the truth of the matter is sometimes evil comes in young packages, small packages, and this is one of those cases.
Hello, my name is Paco Rivera, and this is the Maximum Sentence Channel, where we discuss recent crimes and convictions and a maximum penalty handed down. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates and more. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. I know it seems a bit harsh to refer to a teen who was only 14 years old, basically still a child when she killed her mom, as evil, but after hearing this story, you may or may not agree with the district attorney using that term. Please let me know later what you think in the comments. Ashley Smiley was born in 1983. When she was in her 20s, she married a man named Kevin Gregg. In 2009, Ashley and Kevin Gregg had a daughter they named Carly, and a few years after that, another daughter named Natalie. However, Natalie was later diagnosed with a severe disorder known as spinal muscular atrophy. And when her older sister Carly was only about 4 years old, Natalie, who was only 14 months old, had passed away. And soon after that, Ashley and Kevin divorced. It was later learned that shortly after Natalie's death, Kevin had begun drinking and using drugs. Despite this, he was allowed visitation with Carly up until the time that she was arrested this year. Several years after divorcing, in the year 2020, when Ashley was now 37 years old, she married a man named Heath Smiley, who, of course, had taken on the role as Carly Gregg's stepdad while living in their home in Brandon, Mississippi. By this time, Carly was 11 years old. By March of this year, 2024, Ashley was 40 years old, and she was a math teacher at Northwest Rankin High School, the same school that her daughter Carly was attending the 10th grade. On March 19th of this year, a Tuesday, a young man at the school, a student, had tipped off Ashley that her daughter was doing drugs. He told her that he was worried about her and he had felt a responsibility to let her know about it. So things were already heating up that day, as Carly would later learn that her secret was revealed to her mother. Ashley and Carly left the school and arrived home sometime close to 4 o'clock that afternoon, that day of March 19th. Ashley's husband, Carly's stepdad, Heath, was still out. After arriving at the house, Carly agreed to go walk the dogs. While she was doing that, her mother Ashley went into Carly's bedroom and discovered vaping devices and marijuana in the room. Here now, to give you an idea of the setup of the house, Carly's bedroom was off to the right on the other side of that wall, and her mom, Ashley's bedroom, was to the left. So after Ashley found the vaping devices and marijuana, she removed what prosecutors say was 4 boxes containing vape pens from Carly's bedroom and took them back to her room, where she set them down. Here you can see where Ashley then peeked out to the backyard to see if Carly was still out there walking the dogs. She then returned to Carly's bedroom to continue the search. Carly returned from walking the dogs, came inside the house, and she saw that her mom is in her room and that her mom had discovered that her secret was true. It's not clear from reports or surveillance video in the home if words were exchanged between them, but it became obvious that Carly was not happy about her mom searching through her room. While Ashley was still doing that, Carly goes to her mother's bedroom and retrieves a gun that she knew was kept under the mattress. She takes that gun to her bedroom, where Ashley was still searching. Carly then shoots her mom 3 times, killing her. Carly was fully aware of a surveillance camera in the home recording, so she was careful about keeping the gun hidden, tucked behind her in her pants as she moved around the house. Shortly after killing her mother, she sat at a counter in the kitchen area, as seen on surveillance video. And while using her mom's cell phone, and while pretending to be her mom, she texted her stepfather, Heath Smiley, and asked, "When will you be home, honey?" At some point, Carly disconnected the surveillance camera system and she hid the equipment in the refrigerator. Because who is going to think about looking in the refrigerator for camera equipment? The mind of a 14-year-old, right? Carly also texted a friend from school and told her to please come over to her house, that it is an emergency. When the friend arrived, she entered the house, and one of the first things that Carly said to her was, "Have you ever seen a dead body?" The friend told her she had not, and Carly then walked her over to her bedroom and showed her. She said to that friend that she put 3 bullets in her mother and has 3 more for her stepfather when he gets home. A short time later, Carly heard Heath's car pulling into the driveway outside the garage, and she told her friend to go wait for her in the backyard. And the friend went out there. Did that friend go over to Heath Smiley and say, "Sir, just so you know, your wife is dead inside and Carly has a gun. Carly killed your wife and she's about to kill you"? No, that did not happen. Teenagers, I'm telling you. As soon as Heath opened the door to enter the house, Carly fired the first shot at him, hitting him in the shoulder. He reacted quickly, lunging at Carly, and wrestled the gun out of her hand as 2 more shots were fired that missed him. At some point, Heath discovered his wife dead and called 911. And Carly ran outside and fled from the house, with her friend following closely behind. For a while, they later took off in separate directions. Carly was later captured by police about a half-mile away. Carly Gregg, after turning 15 in April of this year, was offered a plea deal by admitting that she was guilty of murder, and she would be sentenced to 40 years in prison with that plea agreement. In reality, she would have probably served less than that when released. However, she refused to accept the plea agreement. I suppose the idea of spending the next 40 years in jail was too much for her, and she decided to take her chances at trial of being found not guilty by reason of insanity, because she has suffered from the trauma of divorced parents, a baby sister that passed when she was little. She had taken medication for being depressed and for being bipolar. She has been in therapy for stress and anxiety and other mental health problems. It didn't work. Carly was tried as an adult, and the prosecution was able to describe to the jury how she knew exactly what she was doing when committing the crime, and she knew that it was wrong, which doesn't fit the legal definition of insanity.
We, the jury, sentenced the defendant Carly Madison Gregg to life imprisonment.
Carly had a plan, and she intended to carry it out. Her plan was to kill her mother and her stepfather, because the stepfather knew that she was home with the mother. Then leave the house with the gun and camera surveillance equipment. Yeah, it would have been a big mistake to leave that in the refrigerator. And then have authorities believe someone else committed the crime while she was out with friends, and hope that her friend doesn't talk. But that plan went out the window. That plan got totally screwed when her stepfather, Heath Smiley, fought back. Interestingly, while Heath Smiley was extremely distraught, as heard during the 911 call over the death of his wife Ashley, it appears that he began to sympathize with his stepdaughter's situation and was not completely cooperating with the prosecution trying the case. There were times that he told prosecutors that when he is interviewed, he wants Carly's defense lawyers to be present. He made statements about Carly being a very sweet but very mentally disturbed young girl. At one point while he was testifying, he was clearly seen looking over at Carly and mouthing the words, "I love you," to her. It was also reported that prior to the trial, they were speaking almost every day to each other. In September of this year, Carly Gregg was found guilty of the murder of her mom and was sentenced to life in prison without the chance of parole. This is the state saying that this child can't be rehabilitated. Ever. What do you think about that? In many states, such a sentence is not allowed by the state's constitution for a child that young. And my personal guess is that at some point in the future, Mississippi may adopt those same laws. And if that happens, Carly Gregg's sentence will be reduced.
She took the life of the one who gave her life. So this is it's a sad day.
Please remember to subscribe for more of these true crime stories so that you're alerted when the next one appears. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. My name is Paco Rivera. Take care.